I stumbled onto this article from 2003 on the journal, and it's free. You can find it. It's the How Fit Are You article. So back when Greg Glassman was writing all the journal articles, and there was maybe like 3 a year,
The dark times.
I don't know, man. He put together some really, really fascinating things here. But he made this thing he calls basically just like a fitness test. And it is the following 5 events. It is a bench press 1 rep max followed by a max set of pull-ups. I don't think kipping was an issue here, so kipping is legal. This was before there was efficient gymnastics kips.
Nobody had butterfly.
Nobody had invented the butterfly kip yet.
Yeah, I'd say you can't do the butterfly.
You probably
Gotta
can't
be
do the
standard
butterfly.
frog
Wait,
kick.
so this week we're not allowed to butterfly. We're saying that as a rule.
for this test, you're not allowed to butterfly.
Whack. I'm already
Although,
out.
I mean, the rule just says any grip as long as the range of motion is complete. So I guess either way. But it's a 1 rep max bench press, and then within 30 seconds of racking the bar, you begin your max set of pull-ups. Then test number 2 is a 15 rep max clean and jerk, unbroken. The weight can't rest on the ground. It can rest on the hang or the rack or overhead. But
Ooh, that is an interesting test to do these days. I'm curious.
And it can be
about
squat or power.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. Number 3, Tabata squats followed by 4 minutes of muscle ups. So Tabata squats is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and your score is the round within which you get the lowest number of squats.
Yeah.
And then immediately after the Tabata timer is over, including the final 10-second rest, you go for 4-minute AMRAP of muscle ups.
Is it bar or ring? I can't remember.
They
Doesn't specify.
doesn't specify.
There were no bar muscle ups.
but there weren't
then.
bar muscle ups back then, so it's ring muscle ups.
The bar came second?
Oh
I
hell
noticed.
yeah!
Yeah.
In CrossFit
Wild.
competition, yeah.
Yes. Then test number 4, 1 rep max deadlift, immediately followed within 30 seconds of a max set of handstand push-ups. The handstand push-ups, quote, must bring the ears below the hands, so it needs to be done on parallel bars, parallettes, or some other raised platform like chairs or books. But using the wall for balance is okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So it's
So gracious.
So it's preach.
Greg Glassman.
And then each one of these, and number 5, my personal favorite, which I still think to this day might be impossible to complete. So
If you do it right.
if you do it right, I still think this is impossible to complete. It's a chipper, 800-meter run, 21 thrusters at 75 pounds, 21 strict L pull-ups. And the strictness of the L pull-ups is any grip is okay as long as the ankles stay above the
hip line?
hip. So
Yeah,
the
the hip
ankles
crease.
have to stay above your hip and your legs have to stay locked out, which is pretty demanding, I would say.
Yeah, it's basically going to be like 3.5, 4 minutes of work followed by an
Struggling
hour.
for 2 days. Yeah.
You see, my problem is I don't think that if my knees are locked out, I can get my ankles above my hips hanging from a bar.
Sounds
there.
like you are lacking in one of the 10 general physical skills.
Perhaps.
Yeah, which means you get executed on site.
That's right. You do not meet the minimum requirements of life.
Yeah, that's unreal. This was he put it together in 2003.
In 2003,
and it's
still pretty gnarly. So here's what is very fascinating about this is not only that these tests are all like these 5 workouts are all really valid. Like you throw in a 10K on like a run and you have pretty much covered every fucking thing that you'd want to cover in a competition. But even better than this is that he has a scoring method. So for the bench press and pull-ups as well as the squat, the Tabata squat and muscle ups, as well as the deadlift and handstand push-ups, your score on that is an actual number, which is when you multiply your total with your reps, right? So you multiply your bench press with the number of pull-ups you did.
Are you ready to feel bad about yourself?
Yeah.
Because you're about to feel bad about yourself.
And he also not just created this scoring thing, but also said, here's what it takes to get like the equivalent of an A, right? So the equivalent of an A on the bench and pull-up will be 16,000 points.
You'll need to help me do some math. What does that
That's
mean
a
in numbers?
400-pound bench and 40 pull-ups. Or a 300-pound bench and 50-plus pull-ups.
Yeah. So I would have to go with the 255 option if I'm having a good day.
That's
and then 100 pull-ups.
yeah, it's like if you're doing 255, you're gonna have to do 70 something pull-ups to get there. Then followed
and the rest
by
of the test.
yeah, followed by the Tabata squat and muscle up workout. An A score is 660 plus, which is scoring 22 on the Tabata squats, which is
wildly hard.
Like, I mean, that's scoring a 20 on Tabata squats makes you like a leg endurance monster. But scoring a 22 makes you, I don't know, like a 5'4" gymnast. Like, I don't know what the fuck that even.
It's Josh Bridges.
Followed by 30 muscle ups in the 4 minutes. So I would say that is reasonable these days. That's really reasonable because most of these athletes can do muscle ups. But
Noah could do it.
Realize that the 30 muscle ups in 4 minutes.
We're probably strict.
There was no kipping muscle ups back then. It was a false grip, thumb turnout at the bottom muscle up. It wasn't like a gymnastics kipping beautiful muscle up. Like, this was 2003. There was, in fact, a page on the CrossFit.com site called the trophy case, where if you could do a muscle up, you sent in your picture and they put your picture on the website. This person from this gym is able to do one muscle up.
So like eating 30 really hot wings. Yeah.
Sure.
Uh-huh. But that's how you get your picture on the wall.
And then the deadlift version, being...
I made Kai laugh, you motherfucker. That's what counts.
Deadlift 1 rep max followed by max set of strict parallel handstand push-ups. The winning score, an A+, not even a winning score, just an A, would be 15,000, which is a 600-pound deadlift
Easy.
and 25 strict handstand push-ups off the parallettes.
Never going to happen for me.
So, I mean, so he gives other examples of scores. And by the way, the other ones, so the 15 rep max clean and jerk, an A score on that is 225.
Yeah,
I might be able to do that one.
No.
And
depends on define how long. If you get it really the bar resting in your hip pocket,
you can rest as long as you want.
Yeah, rest if you find a good comfortable way to get it in your hip pocket, and then just sort of hang out there, getting all loosey goosey with the arms for a long time.
No. That will not help you.
It's weird. You
the
can't
time
flush
under
lactic
tension.
acid while the rest of your body's under tension.
I'm talking about hanging out there for like 5 minutes, being okay.
I just want you go and hang out with a bar, a 225-pound bar in your hip crease for 5 minutes, and then let me know.
I find a way to get the proper
it's called
balance.
sympathy pain.
And then the final one, the run thruster L pull-up. In order to score the maximum amount of points possible, you must complete it in under 4 minutes.
Say all the things again.
800-meter run, 21 thrusters at 75 pounds, 21 strict L pull-ups.
Strict L pull-ups. That's the one that gets you.
Yeah, that's the one that gets you. Under 4 minutes. So here's
an 800. A fast 800 is like for CrossFitters is like 225.
Yeah,
that's
you're
on
gonna run
flat ground?
230. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna do 21 really fast thrusters in what, maybe 30 seconds?
30 seconds.
And then you have less than a minute to do 21 strict pull-ups.
Yeah.
I'm going to call bullshit on that one. That's not achievable.
So here's the thing. This is nothing, as far as I know, no one's done this. No one has actually taken these 5 workouts and tested them, because at this point he was still playing around with making the benchmarks. Like, the girls did not exist at this point. The workouts were around, but they were still being kind of like tweaked and turned into what we now know as the girls. So I want more than anything to just take a capable athlete and put them through this fucking battery and see what happens. Because he has a scoring table. Like, he has a scoring table that basically says your score is anywhere from 20 to 100 points. And the higher, it's like an A, B, C, D situation. Like, if you get up into the 90s, you have an A. If you get, the closer you are to 100, the better your score is.
We've had 11 CrossFit games trying to find the ultimate test for fitness. 2003, it's already existed.
For real, like,
for 15 years.
Don't know why. I can't think of a good reason why this shouldn't at least be regionals. All of these events would be fucking incredible. I would love to watch every single one of these events. A 15 rep max clean and jerk. Can you imagine people die? Like just the level of death that you're gonna see in someone's eyes on like rep 13 as they can feel the bar slip out of their hands.
Oh, hold on a chick. Can you rest it on your back?
You can rest at the rack, not on the back.
Not on the back. Can't rest on the back.
Overhead or the hang. Even, you know what, Cliff, you can rest it on your back. I want to see how heavy you can go if you get to rest that bar on your back. You would just do every rep single. You'd
Video
do
coming
tap
soon.
Power,
Video
overhead,
coming soon.
Rest on your back.
Yeah, then actually just hang out, walk around, get water there.
I'm actually envisioning later Cliff walking around with the bar on his back at the gym, like at the little water fountain, just going sip, 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 sip.
Excuse me there.
I am an expert at standing around. If all I gotta do is stand around with a bar on my back, I can do that with a heavy load, man.
This is the genius of Greg Glassman.
Wait.
The total points of all 5 tests can range from 20 to 100 points. An individual getting 20 points across all 5 of these, which means you literally can okay, so here's what 20 points across the 5 of them means. It's you can bench like 200 and do 30 pull-ups. You can clean and jerk 115 for 15 or 135 for 15 unbroken reps. You can do 18 on the Tabata squat and 10 muscle ups in that 4 minutes. You can deadlift 350 and do 10 strict parallel handstand push-ups, and you can do that fucking insane running thruster elbow workout in between 5.5 and 6 minutes, which is already a ridiculous level of fitness. That, he says, an individual getting 20 points is a reasonably good athlete.
Reasonably.
Anyone scoring 100 points, which is the top across every single event, has a credible claim to being one of the fittest men on earth. Don't despair if your score looks like what would be a D-. The numbers are just that. Numbers. So even he's like, don't worry, guys. None of you guys can fucking do this anyway. It's okay.
What I want to figure out, though, to even get a score on there, so a lot of these are one thing times the other thing, right?
Yes.
For the score. So what is a big number times 0? What is that? How my arithmetic doesn't work.
You score nothing. You get nothing, sir.
So
that's it's been a while since algebra, but I'm pretty sure if you get a really, really big number and multiply it by 0, that it's not 0 in the end. You get a little bit of that. You get a little bit at the end.
I don't know. Can we let's go ahead and just check the cloud? Yep. Yeah, no, it's still 0.
It's still 0. Yeah.
It's hard to believe, but it's still 0.
So 600-pound bench press, 0 pull-ups.
There is not a single human on the planet that can do a 600-pound bench press who cannot do 1 pull-up.
That's what you think.
But there's a whole bunch of people. There's a whole bunch of people who can get a Tabata score of 6, and then can also at the same time
get 0
not
muscle
get
ups.
a muscle up.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people. I don't know anyone like that, but there's got to be people out there.
I can think of a couple people sitting at this table who score 0 on that workout.
You don't do that workout if you don't have muscle ups.
Yeah.
You look at the test and you go, oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
not fit.
I am not a reasonably good athlete. That's the conclusion you draw from that. Or you just hope that you're so fucking good at the other ones that it makes up for it. But I am still, I've been CrossFitting for 10 years. I've been reading the journal for the entirety of that time. And I'm still trying to unpack some of the shit that he was writing 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, like if you can get, 50 deadlifts?
Okay, so that's Chase, you motherfucker. All right, so Greg Glassman has also said some things that, maybe don't make as good a sense as this does. Like, for example, if you can deadlift 225 for 50, you could probably deadlift 700 pounds.
Probably.
But I don't think I believe his actual statement was, I posit that one who could deadlift 225 for 50 could also deadlift 700 for 1. And that's just not true. So
it might be.
It's definitely not true, Chase.
That's what I tell people now. Whenever I tell them what my max deadlift is, I go,
my 50
I could
rep
probably do 700.
All right, so my max deadlift is a theoretical 700.
Yeah. Isn't all of our maxes, aren't all of our maxes theoretical? Like, isn't that really what it is, though? Either way, the fact is the fitness test that he described in 2003 is still to this day valid as probably one of the hardest combinations.
Yeah, because the other thing you have to realize is all that's back to back. That's
Yeah, I mean,
day.
I guess I would say you have to do it in one day, but I guess you could do it over the course of a weekend.
I thought it was broken down like you were supposed to do it all at once.
Oh, really? I didn't read that.
Yeah, that was actually my question as well. I was like, yeah, is it over one day or is it spread out over the week?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, let's see if I can.
Can't do it over a month.
Yeah, seriously.
Is it like the presidential fitness test where you suck one day and the next is I'll make it up. It's gonna be fine.
No, it's 1 per day for 5 days.
Oh.
Well, in that case, who's
Yeah,
not
that's no
getting
problem.
100? Who's not?
Yeah, of
getting
course.
100
That
on
makes it so much easier. So much easier.
A little foresight this Greg Glassman guy had.